All right, my dear brothers and sisters, we are now embarking upon the book of James. Now, of course, I absolutely love that name for obvious reasons. But there are many mentions of different Jameses in the New Testament. Of course, you've got James the Apostle, who was the brother of John. You've also got James the Apostle, who was the son of Alphaeus. We read about those folks in Matthew chapter 10. However, I do want to simply tell you that the James we are talking about here is James, the brother of Jesus the Christ. Now, this is a pretty amazing book because at one point, James did not believe in the Lord, which is a pretty powerful testimony. And of course, he actually wrote this book in around 60 AD, and he was killed because of his faith. As a matter of fact, the Sanhedrin pulled James aside and held him down and made him confess that Jesus was not the Lord, and he chose to ignore their wishes and went by saying Jesus is the Lord, and he is in essence the judge of the world. Of course, the folks in the Sanhedrin were very upset, so they instantly threw him on the ground. They started stoning him, and as he began to slowly die, someone decided to speed it up a little faster and clubbed him to death. Now, that's a terrible story about how somebody died as a testimony of the Lord. By the way, tradition tells us that he was on his hands and knees praying that God would forgive them for what they were doing. Sounds a little familiar, right? But what is powerful about all of this is that this is a man who was a half-brother of Jesus and was willing to die for Jesus. And we can learn a lot from this book because James was the prominent elder in the church at Jerusalem, of course, actually the church in Judea. And what is even more important about this is the fact that James wrote a lot of wisdom in this book. Like, for example, some of you may have heard the phrase, well, I don't really have a religion, it's a relationship. Actually, Christianity is truly a religion. James defines what a religion is in chapter 1 at the very end, which is very interesting. He calls it pure religion, and it's a very, very interesting definition. But James talks about all kinds of things, controlling the tongue, how the tongue can be devastating and set things on fire. He speaks about the power of the things that we actually say. He speaks about how we should be treating people and what happens when we decide to honor people because of their money or lack of it. And he talks about many other things, all of which are powerful, important. And if you want a great guidebook, sort of a Proverbs of the New Testament, you will find it in the book of James. You are going to love it. As usual, I have a ton of teaching through the book of James. You can go to the Calvary Chapel Signal Hill website. You can also feel free to go to YouTube. I've got a lot of teachings there. You can go to jameskaddis.com. It's everywhere you go, you'll be able to find it. I teach through it pretty exhaustively and thoroughly. You will enjoy it. Guys, this is a great book. You don't want to miss out on it, all right? I also want to take a moment to congratulate you because you are doing an amazing job. You are killing it out there. I'm very, very proud of you. You are about to finish reading the whole Bible, and that is a really exciting thing. I cannot tell you how overjoyed I am that you have stayed with us through the journey. And folks, we've got some amazing things planned for you next year. We're already praying about it, and we've got some good things on the horizon. God bless you guys.